How do you stand out in the online fashion industry when you have so many competitors? How do you create a brand that is just as sticky as the day you started? What marketing strategy could you employ? Hello and welcome to Season 7 of the Womenpreneur Asia podcast. I'm your host, Krista Gun, and I'm on a mission to unveil the narratives and insights of remarkable Asian women entrepreneurs throughout Asia. Today's episode is sponsored by Redbox Studio. In this episode, we dive into the fascinating entrepreneurial journey of Helen Tan, the co-founder of Double Woot Fashion, a Malaysian online label. Helen shares the 18-year evolution of Double Woot, from its modest origins on Blogspot to its current status as a recognized brand with fans and followers all over Asia and beyond. Amid the challenges posed by the COVID pandemic, Helen reveals the ingenious strategies that kept Double Woot thriving. In today's episode, we explore the clever marketing that Double Woot employs and one that emphasizes authenticity and collaboration. As we unravel Helen's inspiring journey, remember that Womenpreneur Asia is here to empower and inspire you through the stories and strategies of Asian women entrepreneurs. So without further ado, let's dive into today's exhilarating conversation with Helen Tan of Double Woot. Helen, welcome to Womenpreneur Asia.
Hi, Krista. Thank you for having me today.
So, Helen, I've been trying to get you on my podcast for quite a while now. And most of the time, you are quite busy and you're busy doing a lot of things in your business. And I know you run a very successful fashion business. Before we get into talking about what we want to talk about today, which is about influencer marketing and how you use that successfully in your own business, could you tell us how you started your business and when you started your business?
Yeah, before we get to that, when we were connected, it was pre-COVID, right? So at that time, we were like really busy to get the business going. So I was also not very comfortable in sharing. But now that, COVID has ended, so I think we are some sort like more stable in a way. So I felt like it's probably a better time to share what the strategies that we have done in order to keep the business afloat, especially during those turbulent times, unprecedented times, especially during COVID. So my name is Helen. I am the co-founder of Double Fashion. So Double Fashion is basically a Malaysian online fashion label which started back in the year 2005. It was where my sister Helen and I both started up Double Fashion, where initially at the first place she was selling her pre-loved clothing in a blogspot. And at that time I was back in Penang studying multimedia. So we found that with my expertise in setting up a blogspot and also our passion in fashion, we started off Double Woot. At that time, there weren't a name. We didn't call ourselves Double Woot yet. We just started off like a pre-loved clothing shop in a blogspot selling clothing that we love. And then eventually we find that the taste that in fashion that we love resonates well with the audience as well. So then we started off by taking off an investment of 1,000 ringgit each only at that time to take stocks from the wholesale markets at that time in Penang wholesale market in KL, and also in Penang also we have like those wholesale markets. And started off at a really small humble beginning, and then eventually we put the profits that we make from selling the clothing that we love back into the business itself. Eventually we got our dedicated factory in overseas to produce the pieces that we love, and from then on we started off making our own fashion label. So till today, I think 2023, it's more than 15 years. I'm glad that we are still operating and sustainable today, serving more than probably hundreds of thousands of ladies worldwide, not only Malaysia. We have customer base 70% Malaysian and also 30% Singapore, and we're also serving like Australia, Hong Kong, Brunei, Thailand. Yeah.
And why the name Double Woot? I've always been very intrigued by that.
Yes, so Double Woot is actually, at that time there's a phrase called woot. Not sure if you remember. So
Yes.
so that our motto at that time was we make clothes that makes you go woot, 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 woot. And double is actually the two of us, Helen and Helen, so Double Woot. Actually, not many people know that Double Woot's actually the name came out by my husband.
Oh, really? So not by you nor your sister.
Because my husband was actually my lecturer at that time. I studied multimedia. Previously, I did medicine back in KL and then came back to Penang and then I did multimedia design. My husband was at that time a lecturer, so I confided him in many things, especially in design. So I said, it's a nice name for this fashion label that we wanted to start by myself and my sister. So he said, Double Woot lah. And then he also drew a logo for us.
Also, he was very involved with you even back then. And that was before you got married.
Yes.
So he's the other person involved in the business besides yourself and your sister.
So like some sort lah.
So the beginnings of romance started from there. But let's backtrack a little bit. I heard you say that you were studying medicine and then you came back to do multimedia. So what was that story?
Oh, that's another totally different story. So I am the eldest sibling. So we were four sisters. So I was the eldest one. So naturally, I am there's big expectations put on me. My dad wanted me to become a doctor. I was also quite good in science. I love science. I love biology. So it was natural that I went into medicine because I qualified for that lah. But when I was in first year in IMU, International Medical U, I was like, I gained freedom because that was the first time I went to KL. So I gained freedom and then there's so many things that for me to explore in KL. So eventually I sidetracked a little and then I find that when you're in KL alone with friends and then like memorizing jargons, to cut it short and simple memory, I don't find memorizing jargons is like really for me lah. And I don't think that a big responsibility such as being a doctor is suitable for my personality as well. So to cut the story short, I didn't make it to like second year. So I came back. Obviously, my mom and dad was really, really disappointed in me. So at that, when I came back, I took like probably 1 year off to really know what I really wanted. So I did a lot of like part-time jobs. Like I did like photo touch-up in like a jewelry shop, OE at that time. And then I also did like a lot of those odd jobs lah. And then I discovered that. So I took up multimedia design in Equator College. So that's where I know my husband and I also found my passion in designing.
Wow, so you could have become a doctor if there's an alternate universe.
I wanted to, but too bad I didn't like persevere at that time. Yeah.
But it's okay because right now you are doing something that you truly enjoy and love, and you're doing it with your sister. And I also know that it's not just your sister, right? I mean, the whole family is quite involved in your business. Yeah.
My mom is actually handling she's in the office all the time. My sister and I, we are both like not in the office all the time. So my mom she's handling the accounts. Like she is the financial controller. So she is the one who is controlling.
She's the CFO.
Yes. Controlling the expenses to make sure that we don't overspend, especially on marketing, advertising and all that. Yeah. So, and then my younger sister, Hannah, is also with Doublewoot. She is handling the accounts part. My dad is also like taking care of everything, like basically helping everyone of us.
And what are your roles and your sister's roles now? I mean, besides, I guess you're both the face of Doublewoot, but I see you mostly doing a lot of the marketing promotion. What does your sister do, or does she prefer to do the other things besides marketing?
My sister, mostly she'll be traveling monthly to our factory to try on, because all our pieces before it's out, it has to be tested, to be scrutinized, to be QC checked, everything. So that part takes a lot of her time already, because she goes to our factory monthly to test on it. And then she also handles photo shoots and some of the creative process as well. So myself, because I'm more on a people person, so I love doing IG live and all that marketing. So eventually, that's how we split our job scope lah.
When you first started, and I think that this is very interesting, you started from just trying to sell pre-loved clothing using Blogspot. And from then you expanded to your online fashion retailer brand, right? But that you make it sound easy, as if like today is like, okay, I have a Blogspot, and then tomorrow I have this. But in between, right? How did that growth happen? How did you start growing?
I made it sound easy because I compress it in like within a minute. If you have to go through that within like a few years, I don't think that will be very easy, because I think the hardest part would be patient and also persevering through time, and also knowing that successes doesn't come overnight. It is through like patience, and also believing that what you love actually will. You truly believe that what you're doing is what you want in life, and also believe that it will stand through time. So I think that's one. Time. I think a lot of people do not have the patience to actually persevere through time, and also letting failures be very demotivate us to. Of course, us, we have our own share of own share of setbacks and also failures, but we just don't talk about it. So that's two also.
Yeah, because I said that from the time you started your Blogspot to what Doublewoot is right now, I know that the journey probably isn't like time travel, right? Suddenly here, and then suddenly you're here, right?
Yeah, correct.
16, 17 years later. But there's in between, there's a lot of those, well, you can call them challenges, you can call them setbacks. When was that first moment when you thought, okay, from the Blogspot, we are ready to grow a little bit more?
One of the key milestones for Doublewoot is actually, I think, in the year 2012, where the blooming of e-commerce, where everyone shifted from Blogspot to .com. I hope I get the year correct, because I'm not very good with numbers. So that's where my mom comes in. so that was one of the key point in our business, turning point in business, where we switched our Blogspot entirely to a .com, which is www.double-woot.com. So that's what a key point, where we are able to optimize our operations in terms of order processing up till packing, where from one point where the customer placed an order to processing, previously it was all manual in a Blogspot, because you have to answer the query, and then you have to reply to them, and then you have to like gauge their size, and then advise to them, and then manually place an order for them, up until writing consignment notes and packing. It could take like probably 2-3 hours, but from the switch to Blogspot to e-commerce, it took like probably 1 minute. It was a milestone for us, where we could actually focus on putting more time in the designs of the R&D of the designs, instead of wasting time too much on all the manual processing. So that was where we know that we can actually save more time on digitalizing our business and put more focus on expanding our business.
So if you look at Doublewoot style, and you say that it's the style that you and your sister are very much attuned with, so both of you wear the clothes and all that, what would you describe the style as?
Our style would be more of classic styles. It's very simple, minimalist, and also the fit is very important. And also we want our pieces to last through time as well. So we are more into making pieces which are very well tailored, gives a really good fit, and also you feel confident immediately when you put that up.
And of course, quality material, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I can vouch, because I worn many of your pieces. And I find that they're really of a really good quality material, and it has a good drape. I find it has a good drape, and it feels really good against your skin. So yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, asking the co-founder of Doublewoot to describe her own style is also something which I wanted to ask for a long time. Like, how would you describe your own style? Because basically you are designing the clothes, or you and sister are creating the clothes for people like yourselves, right? Like people who like the style and the cut and the kind of material. Yeah. So you're creating it for yourself. So now that we have heard about that, 2012 was that milestone, turning point moment in your business, that you managed to digitalize and grow. So after that, what happened?
After that, we did a lot of omni-channel activations. Because for those who don't know, we are 100% online from the beginning until now. We don't have any stores. So from that on, we can focus more. When we digitalize our business, we can also focus more on a lot of offline activations to actually complement our online shop, because a lot of people might hesitate to actually purchase online because they want to try the clothing. So we do a lot of so-called omni-channel events to complement our online business. Then we did like events and all that to actually give customers who are afraid to make the first purchase online to actually feel and touch it online first, but still making the purchase online. We are still a firm believer of online business, because we think that online, with one website, you could actually reach out globally instead of doing it like a lot of other stores. But of course, I feel that it only works if you are able to represent your product online accurately to your customers, instead of giving a false presentation of how your product looks like online, and then when customer receive it, it doesn't matches their expectation. So I think that's also very important, because if you're operating 100% online.
Yeah. So I think operating 100% online has its pros and cons, right? The advantages is, of course, you can reach out to the whole wide world. But the disadvantage is sometimes people may ask you, so how does it feel like? Or how can I touch, can I touch it? Can I feel the material? Yeah, so I think that gets a little bit tricky, right, with online selling and all that. So in your case, I know that you have been selling online from the very beginning until now, and you've done events. But you also have a very interesting way of marketing, which I think right now we can go into that, which is you use a lot of influencers in your marketing. When did that come to you, and was it something that was organic from the very beginning?
I would say we were quite lucky, because when we first started, before we even digitalized our business, we just randomly PM Daphne Eiking. Not sure if you heard of her. At that time, she was quite big, like let's say like 2007, 2008. At that time, she was like very popular. She was like a Malaysian celebrity, and she replied to our PM. We were like really shocked. My sister and I were like, wow, Daphne replied to us. So we were like really happy that she agreed to try on our clothing, and she even did like a vlog. At that time, there were no Instagram or Facebook. I think she did a vlog. There was Facebook. We PM her through her Facebook. So she did a vlog to show all our pieces, which we sent them. And then eventually we also did a rider collaboration with her, and it was like very, very successful. A lot of good reviews and a lot of words like spread, and that was really successful, and we had a lot of feedback from that collection. So from then we know that influencer marketing is one of the effective marketing.
Effective, but also one of the ways to help, right, build trust.
Online shops, build trust, as well as because people, what you mentioned is correct. Build trust because people look up to all these celebrities and influencers now. Because at that time, I don't think there's a term called influencers. At that time, they were like
celebrities.
Yeah, celebrities, I think,
or TV hosts or something, or radio DJ, right?
Yeah, so people actually trust the reviews of these people, these prominent people, and now it was even more prominent when COVID hit at that time, when everybody cannot go out and all that. So we also engaged a lot of influencer friends who happened to be our customers at that time. So we asked them, hey, can you do like some content for us? So they did like wearing double woot when you're at home, cooking or dancing, transitioning, like self-care. Self-care was a term that was really big during COVID because everyone that was at home and everyone don't know what to do. And also depression hit as well. So we at that time we collaborated with brands and even KOLs to do a lot of self-care content at home. So at that time, I think it was quite successful. It created a lot of engagement, and coupled with some promotions, we are able to sustain and also get through the MCO at that time.
So in In your opinion, when you're using influencers to help you, I would say leveraging their influence to help you market your clothes, are there any criteria or anything that you look for before you approach? I mean, right now, after so many years of being in business, it's not just about PM someone, right? I'm sure you have a process when you want to work with an influencer. Do you have any criteria, first of all?
That's because I'm the one who is hands-on in doing all this. So I'm the one who PM and all that. So I know for me, it's more to trial and error. It's more to influencer marketing is still a very big trial and error thing, basically. So because I am also the business owner, I have the visibility to all the sales and ROI and dashboard. So when I engage an influencer, I can immediately track the ROI already. Like let's say I give the influencer a code, I give her like 10% discount. Once she shout it out, if I see there's any sales from there, then I know if immediately if she's effective or not. If there's none, then I know probably the followings does not resonate to our niche. So it's more of a trial and error to us. We do a lot of PR gifting, so we do a lot of seeding. PR gift where we send out clothing to them, and in return, if they love it, they will do a shout out either on Instagram stories or posting if they really love our clothing. So it's more on the trial and error. Yeah, we do see a lot of influencers, like especially those who host, who need to use clothing to do their hosting and all that.
So a lot of it is you yourself doing the research and seeing whether they fit your brand values.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So do you work through an agency, or you still? I mean, you're very hands-on.
Yeah.
Oh, you do yourself. Okay. I suppose you enjoy it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. I enjoy it, especially when during COVID, I did IG Live with a lot of influencers. So it was where I found my purpose. I feel like purpose in selling clothes. So in a way, we have transformed our motto where clothes that makes you go woot woot, where we are more into empowering women beyond fashion. So that's where I invite influencers or people who are also our customers who come into IG Live to share about their experiences, their journey, as well as doing stylings, try on clothing. So I feel it brings purpose into what we are doing, and that's where I find that it also brings more value to our customers at the same time. Instead of just like buying clothes right away from Doublewoot, they can also listen to people from all walks of life, women from all walks of life who do what they do and also inspire each other.
So you also found that purpose during the pandemic lockdown.
Yeah, correct.
But were your sales greatly affected during that time?
Yeah, it was really, really greatly affected. I think down by more than half.
It's because that people had no parties to go to.
Yeah, nobody wanted to buy clothes. But I think also because our production was stopped completely. There were no new designs coming in, and then my sister couldn't travel to our factory to do a lot of QC. So instead of taking in more designs, we are more into clearing off old stocks. Our SKUs, our inventories. We clear a lot of inventories during COVID lah. So yeah.
Speaking of inventory, I noticed, and this is what I also want to ask you. Your clothes are named very strangely and very uniquely. And it all starts with D, right? Yeah. The letter D. So I have a hard time pronouncing some of the names of the clothes. So was that a conscious decision to use that instead of, some online retailers, they will use some numbers or something like that as a code. But yours is like if you do your IG Live, and I've seen your IG Live, right? Where you ask like viewers to name the clothes. It's like so hard, right? It gets like a mouthful, because I'm like, okay, there's an X there, there's a J there, there's an L. So can you tell us that story? Why is it named that way?
My God. So I'm the one who's responsible for that. So I insisted, because after more than 15 years, I still want the names of pieces to start with D. So what's the problem with that? Like there's not so many combinations. So what happened was I will get, let's say today I talk to Krista, I speak to Krista, then tomorrow I will name one of my dress D Krista.
Okay.
G2. So that's how I can get a lot of different combinations instead of, because all the names, it has to be a unique one. It cannot be the same. So sometimes you can say an extra X, extra Z, extra J at the back. So that's how we have to name it uniquely lah. That's why.
Why
Miss
D? Because of double wood? Is it because of the
Doublewoot,
D?
yes, Doublewoot.
Okay.
We were quite persistent in that.
Because sometimes I think, okay, I remember the dress, but now I have to remember the name of the dress. I think, okay, I can't really remember that, but I just wanted to ask you because curious, right? Since we're on this guest call together, so I just wanted to ask that. Yeah, very unique. But I think that is also part of it, right? To make it memorable. Like people start thinking, okay, what's the name of the dress that I wanted? Have to quickly go and do a search on your website.
Probably. I hope so.
So when it comes to influencer, let's get back to that. When it comes to influencer marketing, what has been some of the best, or can you remember like one of the best people that you worked with? Or
I remember vividly some of the best ones are actually the organics one and not intentional ones. Like those, I can remember one time, if not sure you know Jen Chia. So I'm Jen. She was our customer actually, like 5-7 years ago. And then she wore one of our floral dress for one of her paid ads. And then she was like in a garden for florals, and then she wore our floral dress. That floral dress I remember was like one of the stuck SKU. Nobody buy one. I think probably it's too floral and too colorful for some. But once she wore it, I saw it and I asked her if I can repost that. I reposted that immediately. It was sold out immediately. So I think some of the successful ones are those that people who actually love the piece and come up with the content that really, really blends well with the dress. It's like imagine you're in the garden and then it's like she wore the floral dress and then with her voice, really nice voice, she sang a song. When we posted that, like I think people fell in love with what's really authentic and natural, and then people actually buy that story and eventually the product. So that's what I remember vividly.
have you had many of such like,
No.
certain SKUs that you couldn't move and then, okay, let's give it to an influencer to wear? Or
To imitate that pattern, usually it will work like probably 10 times maximum. More than that, it won't work already. So every time you have to come up with new ideas, fresh ideas to push on the products that like stuck for a long time.
And how do you do that? Do you do a lot of brainstorming with your family members? Do you have brainstorming with your husband and your sisters?
What do you think? I mean, we do, how to say, that one cannot be forced. I feel that all those like, you cannot force people to wear your clothes and then do content and all that. So what we do is, I do a lot of try-on videos because customer wants to see how it actually feels on real bodies instead of, because we do, if you notice on our Instagram, we have like mixture of like models posing like really flawless photos of the dresses, and also we also post for videos and photos of customers and sometimes even myself doing try-on. So I think a mixture of real visuals and real photo videos with complement of model photos that works quite well for online, especially fashion.
And I think it's very good also to see real women wearing the clothes rather than just all those models who are really like slim, right? Okay. Now we talked about like your best ever influencer. So were there any influencers that you worked with that were really didn't quite hit the mark?
Of course, there were some, like, not to say didn't quite hit the mark, probably because like I mentioned, we see a lot of influencers, but some, I'm not sure why they received the products and then totally disappear. No sound already. So yeah, that happens sometimes, but don't be discouraged. I think probably because not our pieces, not necessarily everyone will definitely love one. Some people might find that it's too fitting, it doesn't suit their taste. So we take that as probably why we want to study like why she don't like our pieces or what. Then probably we can do some more variations to cater to that group of women. Like that.
Have these people come back to you? Have these influencers I told you why they didn't like the specific dress and therefore didn't wear it on their on their Instagram or wear
Also,
it?
are like probably busy schedule, which is send them the clothings, and then they would post if they like it, and if they don't, then it's fine. Yeah.
I also know that you did a couple of sessions with Amber Chia.
Oh yeah, Amber Chia, yes.
Yeah, she was quite fun. I remember watching some of them. What was the experience working with her?
We actually did 2 times of IG Live. So at that time during COVID, it was, we like I mentioned, we did our IG Live, and then Amber wore the pieces. It will immediately, she wore all the pieces that she wore, like immediately. So like you can see
Sold
one. So I think that's also one of the successful ones. I almost forgot. Yeah, that was also one of the successful ones. Like you can feel that some of the influencers which we invited to do the try-ons, probably from the way she described our pieces. Like, of course, she is also one of the top supermodel that people also love the style. And yeah, her IG Live really worked well. And a lot of the pieces was also like sold, especially pieces which she chose.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that because I remember that because I remember there's one, it was like she did multiple changes of clothing, right?
Yeah. She also did like fashion show online, fashion show during live.
Yeah, and then she went off for a while and came back with wearing something new, and then went and took it off and put something on again. So I thought that was really fun.
Yes.
Fun because she was so, I think, very honest and very real about it.
Yes.
Because sometimes I think influencer marketing is this, right? Sometimes they do need to think that they have to perform. So they have to put on a different face to the world, and then the real person may not necessarily be that, right? But I liked her authenticity about the clothes she wore and the things.
Feel that some influencers are authentic or not, right?
Yeah.
Then you eventually love the pieces that she put on because you love like the personality that she projects and all that. Yeah. So I think authenticity works all the time, I feel.
And these days, how do you approach influencer marketing? I mean, you've had quite a fair bit of experience now, right? I mean, how do you do it now?
Now we still do IG Live, but like probably once a month because everyone is so busy with offline events and all that. So we are quite active also in events, collaborative events. So I feel now people are more into collaborative projects like offline events, especially because people have been staying inside the house for so long during COVID. So everyone is longing to go out. So we are more into offline events. Our collaboration are more with brands nowadays to like capitalize more on our presence offline and also online. So we can, through collaboration with brands also, we can share the cost in engaging influencers. So yeah, so through events and also through brand collaborations, and we do a lot of shows to actually make content. We take videos of influencers and not only influencers, even our customers or guests who attend the event can also showcase our pieces really well. Can also be part of the content where we show how our pieces actually look on influencers as well as real customers as well. So we do a mixture of all these contents to really bring out the essence of our clothing, I would say.
Then you talked about sharing costs with brands, especially now with more offline events. Is it tricky trying to negotiate with the influencers on the deliverables versus the costs? Or is that something that you only talk about later once you feel that this influencer has her power to influence?
For us, we also have our presence because we also have like quite a number of followings as well. So it could be a part of a win-win for influencers as well. Because influencers also want to have the numbers, and we also have the numbers. So when we repost their content, eventually it will give them organic followers as well. So it's for us, it is also one of the win-win, I would say. But it won't work so well for brands who don't have that number of followings, I would say, to be really honest with you. We don't tell them what to post, you must post this and that. But we seed you the clothings, we provide you the clothings for your events and hosting and all that. You only post when you feel like you really love the clothing. So that I feel that is also more genuine and also not so forceful, because influencers also, they want to earn. I mean, that's also their rice bowl. They also want to earn, but with us, when we provide the clothing to them, it also saves some cost also because they don't have to keep buying clothes as well. So it's more to like a win-win situation for both of us. And with brands, we partner with brands which are aligned with our branding. I would say branding. Like for example, we partner with the latest collaboration was with GHD. They did an event in W Hotel, so we provide the clothings for the models who walk the show. So it's more to like a mutual win-win collaboration, I would say. Not so much on like very forceful where you have to. For us, we don't do a lot of like black and white writings on you have to do how many postings for us, this and that. That's how our dealings with influencers. We work with influencers who love our clothings. We don't like really tell them, oh, you must post this and that. We don't do that.
So you let them decide when they want to post and
that's
what you want to
do. So that's why I feel the number one thing that we want to focus is the product itself. So we really focus on, we want to create products that you really want to wear, put them on, and that makes you feel confident. Eventually you will post it on. So it's more on you creating products that, number one, you yourself want to wear, and then you want people to feel happy wearing it. Eventually people will talk about it on. So some of the influencers probably, they're not aware about our brand. So we feed them, hey, you want to try these pieces or not? I think it will look really good on you. And also it really matches your style personality. So they say, okay, we send to them. And then when they really love it, then they post it on.
Do they get to work with you on an affiliate basis?
We haven't started that yet.
Okay. Because they'll be pretty good, right? I mean, every time
but
they share their code.
Yeah, we need a platform. That's a good thing, affiliate influencer marketing. But we need a dedicated platform to actually like count on the commission and all that, right?
Yeah. But that is actually good because since you're already seeding them with the gifts, and every time they click on their specific link, you know that it comes from that specific influencer.
We do it through like unique discount codes.
Then besides, okay, so if we're talking about influencer marketing and then you've shared how you work with them, what about other marketing methods? Have you tried others, or is this that one method that you feel has been very successful for Doublewoot?
For us, we're very active in this influencer marketing with a mixture of, like I said, offline events to actually, but offline events is also a way for us to create content which ties back to online marketing. So basically for us, it's really, really focused on on posting contents, a lot of different types of contents on our social media.
So everything it actually ties back to
online.
Online, right? So everything just goes back to online.
Correct. For us.
In your years of running Doublewoot, what do you think makes your brand successful?
To me, I feel number one is still the product itself. Because my sister, I'm not sure about other fashion brands, but we put a lot of effort in actually trying all the pieces. Each piece, we actually try them on to make sure it fits. And also the tailoring. And we also place a lot of importance on the quality itself, where it actually, when you receive it, you will feel that it's worth more than what you actually paid for. So I think that's one. And also I feel through time, it's also part of the storytelling also. I think storytelling is also very important, where we try to not only sell fashion, because you can't compete with all the fashion labels, like you have Shine, you have so many big brands coming in, but we still keep our label very intimate, so everyone knows that it's Helen and Helen, Double Woot, Helen and Helen. But at the same time, we also want to empower women, like through and beyond fashion. We do a lot of collaborations in order to connect and also keep in touch with our customers. Also, I think storytelling. And lastly, I think it's authenticity. We keep our brand very authentic, true. We are very honest in, like, we love what we wear. You'll never see us wear other brands. So I think keeping true to what we believe in and believing so much in our product that you really want other people to feel happy wearing it. I think that's what I feel.
I think what you said about, the storytelling
Mm.
is really true because you wear your own brand. You're not wearing other people's brands, and you and your sister have this sisterhood, and you're still together after so many years in business.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's very hard, right? Running a business with, and now many of your family members are involved, so it must not be that easy because there's pros and cons. Sometimes it could be like you could be talking about business all the time.
Mm.
Does that happen in your family?
Yeah, especially my mom.
And it makes family dinners exciting, yes, but also a little bit, how should I say, a little bit unsettling for people who are not in the business because they're thinking, why is this family or all these people talking about the business all the time? They can't stop talking about the business.
Yes. But I think we have actually, have grown like accustomed to that. We are very, I think but now I think they are not so much. We take time to like travel together. Also. Then you're right.
To outsiders, I mean, honestly, to people in the family, it's already common topic,
Yeah, it's a
right?
common topic.
Yeah, but to outsiders who don't know you, they'll be kind of curious, like, why is this family always talking about business? So, if you could offer like 3 pieces of advice to women entrepreneurs out there, what would your advice be? Especially in the business that you're in, the fashion industry that you're in. I'm sure it is not an easy business. And I'm sure that there are many things you did tell us that is about the challenges of running the business. Maybe we could have that as another episode. But because this episode, I want to focus on the influencer marketing and how you did it and how you are running it and all that. But yeah, that definitely would be a very interesting topic too. Challenges of fashion business online. Yeah. So what would be your 3 pieces of advice?
To me, I feel that, like I mentioned, passion is definitely the number one for me. Because passion, like if you're passionate in what you're doing, it keeps you going. That's what makes you wake up in the morning and like really want to do what you're doing. That's one, be passionate. And number 2 is trust the progress, trust your journey. Because I feel that along the years, I feel like even COVID also, I feel like all the failures, all the setbacks, all the everything that is thrown to us are part of the journey, which will eventually lead us to something bigger. And every failure will make us closer to our success. So that's what number 2, trust our journey. And lastly, find your purpose. That's what I learned, like what I shared with you during COVID. Find your purpose, because passion is all about yourself, keeps you going. But purpose is all about serving others. So that's how I feel that finding purpose is really, really important in order to keep doing what we're doing for a very, very long time.
I know you found your purpose during COVID. How would someone find their purpose if they have not undergone any serious setbacks or serious challenges? Would they need to think about it? Would they need to really seriously sit down and think, okay, what do I do beyond what I'm doing right now?
I think it still goes down to the second point, where trust the journey. I still believe that everything is planned for us. Trust the journey and doing our best in what comes in our way. So do not give up. I think also do not give up in your passion. Number 1 is be passionate and then trust the journey. Eventually you will find your purpose, I feel, for me at least.
Yeah, good advice. I like trust the journey, because I think a lot of times we just want to get to the end.
Yeah.
Right? The milestone.
I really believe that, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I know we wanted to talk about all the other stuff, but I just want to keep this episode very focused. But what do you enjoy most about your business?
Like I mentioned, I found the purpose.
Yeah. Okay.
What I enjoy most is connecting with all women from all walks of life, and I also love collaborating recently we collaborated with Elizabeth Image Branding. I'm sure, so we have a mutual friend. We collaborated in doing a lot of CSR projects where we transform cancer patients. Recently we transformed cancer patients to bring out the best in women. So I enjoy actually all these offline events, connect with women to showcase how we can actually bring out the beauty from within. So that's what I enjoy currently.
And what are you no longer afraid of?
I'm no longer afraid of saying yes to things that I used to say no to. Because
Example?
right, let's say sometimes some people ask me to go for a talk. Then usually I would say no, I'm very scared and all that. But once I said yes, and then I did all the preparations, and then I feel glad that I said yes. Like now, I said yes to you.
Which is great, because I think sometimes it also opens new horizons.
New learnings for myself as well. I learn from like what I shared. I also learn from you, and also like I'm able to think back how was my journey, and then like how is it going forward as well.
And what's the craziest thing you've ever done?
The craziest thing I've ever done was I do a lot of crazy things.
Okay, example, one of those crazy things would be, which means that you have done so many they can't remember one single one.
Okay, the craziest thing is definitely during COVID lah. Basically somebody commented that, hey Helen, why you turn Doublewoot into a mini market? Why? Because we collaborated with so many brands. We switched from our fashion category. We collaborated with Tea Life. So basically we sell drinks on our website. We collaborated with so many things like beauty, and then we collaborated, I think we sold a lot of things that is not in the fashion category, like food and all that. Mooncakes, oh my god, yes!
Mooncakes, I remember that.
Imagine we would do that. A lot of food and all that we sold. So that was like one of the craziest things that we did, which totally we don't think that we will ever do. Like so that's one of the craziest things. But we had to do that in order to survive, because we take commissions from them. Yeah, so that's how. Yeah, that's what we did in order to keep the business afloat, keep the cash flows coming in.
Yeah. So that's why that you couldn't name one, because you did so many crazy things. And what about a personal goal that you're focused on for this year or even next year?
My personal goal is definitely serving my purpose, where that is to actually want people to feel good. Because number one of the most comment I got is, Helen, why you only make clothes for skinny people? So my goal is actually dress women from all shapes and sizes and make them feel good, like probably for these 3 to 5 years.
I think because they look at you and they say you're so petite, and you're and all the clothes look nice on you, because you and your sister is so slim.
Yeah.
So they always imagine that, okay, the co-founders are like this, therefore all their clothes must be for this kind of body shape, right?
Yes.
Or this kind of petite ladies. So they cannot imagine the bigger size ladies who are going to wear Doublewoot. Yeah, but a great goal though, because I think everyone should try Doublewoot at least once in a life to feel the clothings and the cloth and all that. Okay, so what about your favorite book? Do you have a favorite book?
Okay, actually my closet is filled with books.
But
usually I only read like first few pages, and then I glance through to get the gist of it, because I really don't have the time to read all of them. But I can, let's see. There's one. Wait, give me 1 minute.
Okay.
There's one. I remember there's one like, what you think the opposite. Do you know that book?
No. This sounds interesting. What do you think the opposite? Okay, that's your favorite book.
Think the opposite. What book is that? Whatever you think the opposite by Paul Arden. I like that book because it actually challenges the norm of normal thinking. And I like books that are like really like something different. Like this is also one of my favorite books. This one. the subtle art of not giving a F.
Yeah, okay. I heard a lot of people actually like that book, so I haven't gone around to reading them
I like to
yet.
buy and keep books, but sometimes
You're a
the
book hoarder.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder, but sometimes when some of the books is like very common and like it just says like what you actually feel already. So I like books that are unconventional. Makes me feel that my time reading is worth it.
So would you describe yourself as unconventional?
I feel not really unconventional. I think I'm a person that like challenges, I would say. Not really unconventional because there are so many like people who are more creative than me. Just that I like a challenge.
Yeah, that probably sounds a lot like you, Helen.
Really?
And who inspires you?
Definitely my mom. My mom is the person who works 24 hours a day. She showed me what the meaning of hard work really means. And that's on a personal level. My sister also inspires me. Helen, she is one of the kindest and inspiring person who I'm also very glad to have beside me. And lastly, if it's an influencer, I think Jen Chia also inspires me with all her unconventional ideas and thinkings. And I also have a lot of inspiring fashion people who I follow as well on Instagram, like Chriselle, Amy, and all that. Yeah. I have like a lot who I look up to, like on a personal level, on like a fashion, and then also like
Based on different categories, right?
Yeah.
Categories. Okay. And who do you want to inspire?
Definitely my kids. Which I find it really hard to because they're with me 24/7. Sometimes they see the worst part of me, and I think it's also one of lifelong learnings for me to actually be able to be someone that I want to inspire. And yeah, I want to inspire my kids.
And you have 2 kids.
Yeah, I have 2 kids.
And do you feel that they want to one day take over your business? No. Because they're in the business already. Because they're always in the
No, they don't. They don't show interest in influencer marketing because the girl, my daughter, takes over her dad, and the daughter loves like doing design, doing like craft, like designing and all that. And then my boy, has a little bit of me. He is very natural on screen. Whenever I put up my phone, then he will like post this and that. But his passion is in football. He loves playing football.
Finally, what's the one key takeaway that you want people who are listening to this conversation?
To me, I feel being authentic is everything, especially in business. Being honest, being real, and trusting the product itself. I think that's one of the things that I want our brand to portray, and I hope all the business owners will actually portray as well. Being authentic in what they sell, be it a product or service.
And finally, where can people find you or follow you or buy your clothes?
We are 100% online. We sell our clothes. Everything is on our website, www.double-woot.com/doublewoot, and also can find us on social media, Double Fashion.
So thank you so much, Helen. We had a very interesting conversation. But before we started, you said, I don't know if I can talk for an hour. Remember that? And I was thinking to myself, oh, Helen doesn't know the kind of questions I'm going to ask her. I mean,
Correct.
You do know, you kind of have an idea because I was telling you we want to focus on the angle of influencer marketing. But you were a little bit skeptical of yourself, a bit doubtful that you could actually sustain the 1 hour conversation.
The question that you sent me is all about influencer marketing, but we spent quite a portion of the time on introduction and also some of the surprise questions.
Yeah, which I believe that's where I think that's the beauty of interviews and entrepreneurship, right? I mean, it's not just really about, of course it's about the business, but then again, I always like to uncover the story. And now I know that, so many things in your business. Yeah, like how you name your clothes, like, how how you work in the business, what kinds of things that you do. So that's good. And even though I've known you for a while, and I think this is really a good interview where we...
My turn to interview you next time.
Yes, probably in time to come, yes. But it's fun. I enjoy this kind of conversation. So I hope you enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Krista, for having me.
Yeah. And you managed to talk for an hour. Okay, so thank you so much, Helen. Thank you for spending time with us, and I'm really glad that you shared about influencer marketing, which will be definitely helpful to a lot of women out there, especially those who are trying to see whether they want to attempt, this marketing method for themselves and their business. So thank you.
Thank you.
And that wraps up another insightful episode of Womenpreneur Asia. Today, we delved into the dynamic world of fashion entrepreneurship with Helen Tan, the co-founder of Double Woot. Helen's emphasis on authenticity and organic collaboration in influencer marketing provides a refreshing approach to building trust and generating impactful and honest reviews. By fostering relationships with influencers who genuinely adore and wear the brand, Doublewoot has not only enhanced its online presence, but also witnessed tangible boosts in sales. Helen is also innately clever, creating stylish and premium collaborations in offline events as well as Instagram Live to continuously remain memorable to her customers. While she's creating such events online and offline, these events also provide her with much needed content and images for her marketing. Such a virtuous cycle of content production and clever marketing indeed. Helen's unique naming convention for her clothing items, all starting with D, underscores the brand's commitment to maintaining a distinct identity. And what I appreciated most is Helen's unwavering commitment to product quality, storytelling, and authenticity, which has been instrumental to Doublewoot's success. Her journey highlights the importance of finding a purpose that goes beyond profits, as in the case of working with and empowering cancer survivors. Every episode, I try to go deeper into an angle that will be most helpful to entrepreneurs. This time with Helen, I chose to focus on influencer marketing as I know she's a wizard at this form of marketing. As you navigate your own entrepreneurial path, remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Womenpreneur Asia. Your support helps us bring you more inspiring stories and valuable insights. Until next time, stay empowered and keep thriving.